listeners, on a cloudy and chilly April morning, the Monday after Easter here at Oldie 640 KTIB. And all I can say this morning and this weekend is, brrr, it was cold this weekend, and it's cold this morning. It's going to be a little chilly for the next few days.
Yeah.
Flag on the flagpole in front of the courthouse. I can't see this morning because it's not up. I guess they took it down for the weekend, and they'll be putting it up this morning. But anyway, the winds are out of the north-northeast at 4 miles per hour this morning. Of course, as you can see, if you're outside, the weather is cloudy. Present temperature is 49 degrees. The humidity is 60%. The dew point is 36 degrees. The pressure is 30.10 inches of mercury and rising. Visibility is 9 miles. Sunrise this morning was at 6:40 a.m. Sunset tonight will be at 7:24 p.m. Outlook for today will be cloudy with a few showers, a high of 64 degrees. Winds out of the east-northeast, 10 to 15 miles an hour. Chance of rain, 30%. I'll tell you what, I don't think it's higher than 50 or 60 degrees throughout the country. I got Gib Robichaux in the house this morning,
right.
and he was just telling me he was looking at the weather this morning.
Nothing above 50.
What? Where's Al
Global
Gore?
warming.
Let's talk about Al Gore. Global warming. Where the heck is that? In fact, they're concerned about some of the citrus trees, the peach trees in Alabama, and of course North Louisiana was a little worried, but man, oh man, what a weekend of weather. We'll talk about that more in just a minute. As always, any birthdays and anniversaries this morning, give us a call. The number into the dialogue room, 447-6409. That's 447-6409 here at the new Oldie 640 KTIB. Birthdays and anniversaries, give us a call. Always happy to celebrate them. And as always, we ask you to remember truly America's finest, our young men and women who are in harm's way. We ask that you keep them and their families in your thoughts and in your prayers as you go about your daily routine. Some of the ones we know of locally: Rachel Sherbin, she's in the military serving in Iraq. Brady DeLotte, he's in the Marines and he's serving in Fallujah. Jordan Soderstrom, he's a Marine serving in Iraq. Eno Guyot and Tim Lipscomb, two of the Thibodeau police officers, are in Quantico, Virginia, and they're in the Marines, and then they'll be going to Iraq. Philip Nakian just got back from Iraq. He's in Okinawa. He's in the Marines. And William Trahan, he's in the Marines serving in Fallujah. Anybody that we need to add to the list, any of your friends and family or relatives that are overseas in harm's way, please give us a call. We'll be happy to put those names out there for you. And let's pray for them and their families every day, because I'll tell you, when you're 12, 13, 14,000 miles from home, it gets a little bit lonely, especially around the holidays. So we want to make sure we remember them in our thoughts and in our prayers. Some of the things going on around Thibodeau this morning, then we're going to get to Gib. The work on Canal Street is just about complete. I think they've got some striping left and some minor patching to do, but other than that, it should be, I'm going to say, free and clear, and you can drive on it, and the congestion
People want to go fast.
Yeah, you're right. Be careful. Be careful.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's a really came out a really nice project. On North and South Acadia Road, kind of avoid that intersection as best you can. Find another way around there, because that signalization is not up yet and probably will be, I don't know, 2, 3, 4 weeks before that gets finished. So we want to be careful there. Some of the things going on in and around the area is a public meeting announcement for the Bayou Lafourche Corridor Plan. Lafourche, Assumption, and Ascension parishes, including the municipalities, are partnering to create the Bayou Lafourche Corridor. The purpose of this project is the revitalization, growth, and development along Bayou Lafourche from Donaldsonville to the Gulf of Mexico. The project will address beautification, tourism, historical, and cultural projects. A meeting will be held to present and prioritize the projects for the development of the corridor plan. The public is encouraged to participate. If you're interested, that's this Thursday, April the 12th at 6 p.m. at the Lafourche Parish Tourist Commission office. That's on the intersection of LA 1 and US 90 in Raceland. Please plan to participate in the meeting. Your input is very valuable and necessary to create a successful project. If you have any questions about the meeting, contact Crystal Chasson or Gretchen Kywet at Lafourche Parish Government, and that number is 446-8427. 446-8427. That's the Bayou Lafourche Corridor Plan. Interesting project. that's going on in and around the area. Of course, Lucy Morvan's rape defense class is April 16th, 17th, and 18th. That's next Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. You must attend all 3 nights, ladies. It will be from 6 to 10 p.m. $10 will cover the cost of materials. Give Lucy a call at 449-4434. That's 449-4434. The Blue Star Mothers of Louisiana, number 2, are collecting goodies and things to put in care packages to send to America's finest, our troops overseas. If you'd like to, they even pick up the stuff. So if you'd like to participate in that, or you have something to give, 447-5200. That's 447-5200. And the Nichols Jubilee is taking a break. They come back, let's see, on the 14th of April, and we'll talk about that as time goes on. Last week for Thibodeau summer registration in baseball, softball, and swimming lessons, that registration is being held at the Pelche Park building. The next registration is this coming Wednesday, April the 11th, from 6 to 8 p.m. And the last date will be Saturday, April 14th from 9 a.m. to 12 noon. Due to a change in policy at Walmart, there is no registration at Walmart, so you're going to have to go into Pelche at the Pelche Park building to register, or you can register online at ci.thibodeau.la.us. These forms must be postmarked on or before April 14th if you're registering by mail. So make sure you get that done before Saturday. Bayou Council on Alcoholism announces fireworks, an anger management class, 3 2-hour sessions for ages 18 and over. They're held on Thursdays. The first one will be this Thursday, April the 12th. The deadline for enrollment is tomorrow, April the 10th. Limited space is available to enroll. If you're interested, there's a $75 enrollment fee, and the number to call is 446-0643. That's 446-0643. Boating classes. The Lafourche Parish Sheriff's Office is holding a boating class for ages 13 years of age and up. It will be, I'm sorry, that was April the 7th. That was this past Saturday. We don't need to be talking about that anymore. I'm sure that was a big success. Anyway, lots of stuff going on. If you're interested in any of it, give us a call here at the station on our business line. That's 447-6405, 447-6405 for the information on those classes. The number into the dialogue room, 447-6409 this morning, 447-6409. Going to get to give in just a minute, but there are a couple of interesting things that I noticed on the paper. First of all, if this was on the Times-Picayune Saturday, there's a trailer with styrofoam under it.
Yeah.
That says Buoyant, B-O-U-Y-A-N-T, foundations would allow homes to float out of harm's way during floods, an LSU engineer says, rising to the occasion. A system proposed by an LSU engineering professor would turn existing New Orleans-style homes into floating docks, enabling them to rise above floodwaters and return to the ground as the water recedes. Utility lines would either have breakaway connections or coiled lines with enough slack to handle the lift. How about that?
They had 300,000 of those in Baton Rouge. You know, the water would have.
That's right.
They don't say what would happen. Of course, they would have saved a lot of people's lives because it had just floated along.
Tell you what, if you got a camp, you know, that might be the way to go.
A camp, absolutely.
You know, a camp somewhere. I don't know, who knows. But, you know, it's going to take some innovative thinking. And, you know, this is part of the process.
Sure.
Absolutely.
It's not going to happen again. 40 years.
You don't believe? I hope you're right. I hope you're right. Mark Atzenhofer, Lafourche Parish Council, is raising questions about a Central Lafourche Hospital's planned use of public money. Councilman Atzenhofer of Bayou Blue wants to know whether Hospital District Number 2, which in conjunction with a separate board that oversees Ochsner St. Anne's General Hospital in Matthews, can use its property tax income to provide no-cost wellness programs to area residents. Hospitals officials say the roughly $130,000 collected annually by a $2 million property tax that benefits the hospital is no longer needed to cover operating costs. They propose putting the tax money back into the community in the form of no-cost wellness programs. So that should be on the next council meeting, It doesn't. I think it's this coming Tuesday. Meets at 6 p.m. at the Sandra Barrios Center in Raceland. So if you're interested in that, attend the meeting. Hurricane forecaster William Gray, who has been forecasting storms for many, many moons, one of the most well-known and reliable hurricane forecaster in the nation, on Friday called Al Gore a gross alarmist for making the Oscar-winning documentary about global warming.
Gory details, huh?
For someone of his stature, he is a gross alarmist. Gray said in an interview with the Associated Press at the National Hurricane Conference, where he delivered the closing speech. He is one of those guys that preaches the end of the world type of things. I think he's doing a great disservice, and he doesn't know what he's talking about.
Isn't that
This
something?
comes from a guy that's been in the weather business, in the global weather business for over 50 years.
Bob Breck says that he and Gray think that the deep sea currents in the oceans, which makes the changes, and you can't, like last year he said there were going to be a whole bunch of them, and there wasn't any.
Yeah, you're right.
Before 2 major hurricanes, then nothing. That's great.
And one last thing on the Masters yesterday. How about that? Tiger Woods had a shot, faltered, and what was the young guy's name? Zach Johnson. Zach Johnson, 31 years
baby,
old.
that was
Yeah, you saw
inspiring.
that? Touching guy.
Came
and,
up with 2 birdies. I tell you, it was fun
talked
to
about
watch.
his faith.
But that weather that Saturday was terrible, though.
It was
30-mile-an-hour winds. And nobody shot on the par.
No, it was
And if you remember, Tiger won the Masters when he was 20 years old, 19 under par.
one over par won the Masters yesterday. 20 shot difference.
1 over par.
That course, the Augusta National, I lived in Augusta and got the opportunity to see the course. I mean, it's sacred. You can't hardly even get to it or walk on it or anything. But that's got to be the prettiest course in the world.
It's a little late with his age. You can see that they were there, huh?
Yeah.
You would have to sign up 2 years in advance to get a tee off time.
I believe so. Anyway, forgot one thing. The American Red Cross Spring Gala, Sunday, April 15th.
I'm going to that.
Call Julie. Me too, 10:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. at the Cotillion Ballroom, Nicholls State University. It's going to be a great time, and it's the local area Red Cross's only fundraising drive. So make sure that if you're interested, you come on out and get your tickets. Call 447-3229. That's 447-3229 to reserve your tickets. And Dialogue has a sponsor this month, brought to you by the Thibodeau Fire Department. Yeah, somebody's paying the bills. The Thibodeau Fire Department is sponsoring Dialogue. Of course, you're right, it's their month, and we're going to have them on a couple of more times before the fair. Thibodeau Fire Department, co-sponsor of Dialogue this month. So thank you for the Thibodeau Fire Department. Listeners, make plans for the first weekend in May. Let's get out and support the fire department. Gibbens Robichaux, what did you do this weekend?
Well, we had a big party, a crawfish party at the house.
Wow.
We couldn't sit on the patio, so we went in the garage and go, the crawfish were great, man. It was delicious. But I want to tell you, I went a little turn this morning by church, and the Canal Street was blocked off behind Roly Poly. They must have had a fire or somebody died back there. They had blinking lights and 2 police cars. And
early this morning?
Yeah, right, 6:30.
I'll be darned.
Right behind Road Poly, you know. So Canal Street was blocked up again. I saw those blinking lights and said, here we go again. I don't know what was going on.
Well, I hope it's whatever it is. I hope nobody got hurt. It was in the back of that
house that used to be a Carwood house, you know.
I hope nobody got hurt. By the way, listeners, if you haven't seen the program on Channel 10 with Gibbons, get the schedule, and I mean, you got to watch it. It's a great program. She did a heck of a job on that
tomorrow
program.
night at 7:30, it's supposed to start section 2.
The second half.
7:30.
Okay.
They do it 19 times a week. And people are so tired of looking at me. Everybody comes up and says, boy, you sure did a good job. I said, yeah, all these young girls are calling me for my signature. They want me to run for governor. I don't have time for that. I get Gene Richard as my campaign manager.
Yeah, right.
Gene, I want you got a great voice. I want you to read why Easter bunnies and eggs. Do you know why Easter has bunnies and eggs?
I have no clue.
Read that paragraph for your people. Read it.
Ancient Egypt. Hang on, let's get this call first. Hold on.
Might be Doug.
Good morning, you're live, KTIB.
Gene.
Hey.
Hey, Doug.
How y'all doing?
All right, and you?
Yeah.
I'm doing okay. I was just trying to think.
You had candy yesterday?
Yeah, I got some, yeah.
Oh, man. I did too, the sugar-free kind.
Yeah, I know you did. I was just trying to watch it, because not Tuesday, not Wednesday, but watch it Thursday, because you got to do something.
All right.
Okay?
Okay, buddy.
Have a good day.
You have a good day, Doug. All right. Oh, Lord, they talk about candy and food. We'll get into that later, but anyway.
You didn't eat any candy, did you?
No, I did, yeah. I had some Hershey's sugar-free. Yeah, I sure did.
Malted milk
And it
balls has
tasted.
got to be the greatest candy ever.
Oh, that's what you like?
Oh,
My favorite used to be Heavenly Hash and Gold Brick.
Remember licorice hats?
Oh, yeah.
My son came from Dallas to visit, and he brought me 10 pounds of licorice hats. And those black ones out of this
love
world,
licorice.
man.
Oh, man. In ancient Egypt and Persia, friends exchanged decorated eggs at the spring equinox, the beginning of their new year. These eggs were a symbol of fertility for them because the coming forth of a live creature from an egg was so surprising to people of ancient times. Amazing. Christians of the Near East adopted this tradition, and the Easter egg became a religious symbol. It represented the tomb from which Jesus came forth to new life. The same author also explains that, like eggs, rabbits became associated with Easter because they were powerful symbols of fertility.
Are they?
True story. Little children are usually told that the Easter eggs are brought by the Easter bunny. Rabbits are part of pre-Christian fertility symbolism because of their reputation to reproduce rapidly.
Now you know why they have rabbits
Where
and
did you
eggs.
find this?
Oh, on the internet.
Goodness
Another
gracious.
hair-raising story. The gestation period for a rabbit is only 14
I know.
days. No wonder
Let me
they
tell
have
you.
so many kids. Huh?
I had a pair of rabbits, and boy,
Oh, we
them-
did,
oh man, they'll
Grandpa
pop
had
them out in a
rabbits in
hurry.
the backyard. Yeah, they were fabulous.
They'll pop them out in a hurry.
They're
So
so
that's
beautiful.
where eggs and rabbits came from.
Now you got it. Now you know.
Has
You never
nothing-
knew that, huh?
No, I didn't. I didn't. Has nothing to do with.
People are right away the resurrection, all religious. But why the Easter bunny and the egg? Now you see it's a symbol of the resurrection. The shell breaking open.
Yeah,
But an egg is an amazing thing.
no question about
I
it.
don't know why he put our women through what he. Why couldn't our women lay an egg? Remember,
That's right.
Remember that little 10-year-old boy told his daddy he wanted to marry little Mary next door, and daddy said, "What if she gonna have a baby? Well, if she lays an egg, I'm gonna step on it."
That sounds like something that would happen in my generation.
Yeah, right. That's right. They're stepping on too many of them.
I had no
nowadays.
clue. Of course, anybody of the Christian faith this past weekend, just the basis of all Christian religion, really. With
That
with
Saturday
the,
night thing at the cathedral was just beautiful. See those people baptized and confirmed, and the music.
It's a new life and a new beginning and a new
I saw
birth.
you carrying a
and-
baby around there.
No, that was Friday. Wasn't
Friday?
It?
Thursday.
Holy Thursday. That
Thursday,
was
huh?
Thursday. Yeah. Well, when you got, sometimes my kids needs help.
What, you got 30 of them or
I
something?
know, 15. Probably be 30. Hopefully it'll be 30 before I die. I'd like to see that.
That's right.
I really would. Listeners, we got to take a short break. Got Gibbens Robichaux in the house this morning. It's 7:30. Today's program brought to you by the Thibodeau Fire Department. Hold on. Pour yourself another cup of coffee. We'll be right back here at Oldies 640 KTIB. And welcome back to Dialogue, and that just for Gibbens Robichaux, of course, an old Air Force guy.
That's right,
Learned
right,
that
right.
on the program.
Right, Okinawa for 25 months. Boy, don't ever go to Okinawa for 25 months.
It's tough.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing to do. Huh?
Nothing to do. Beautiful place, though. Every chapel had an organ, and I was a chaplain's assistant. That's where I taught myself how to play.
I'll be doggone. 447-6409. Listeners, number into the Dialogue room. Today's show brought to you by the Thibodeau Volunteer Fire Department, and welcome back, listeners. Hope you got yourself a fresh cup of coffee. All my commuters, be careful going to work. You know, all the schools are kind of like on spring break, but for Hugh and Nick and John and Nancy and Randy and Philip and Joseph, we got to go to work. So be careful on the highway. I know you guys are about halfway there right now. Just take care so we can get to work safely and get home safely tonight.
Gene, you're talking about April the 6th. It was Friday, Good Friday.
Mm-hmm.
According to historians, that's the actual date of the crucifixion, April the 6th. And somebody said, well, they didn't have any calendars. No, but they figured, you know, computed and they figured out that April the 6th was the actual first Friday. First Good Friday.
You got to be kidding me.
It's really a bad Friday, but it's good because he saved us, you know.
Absolutely.
But but Good Friday is April the 6th, and it happened again. It happened this year.
You know, could you imagine,
Tidbit.
that's a tidbit, all right. Can you imagine just living in that era, in that time?
Oh, gosh, I can't.
You know, and going through that.
Somebody said the other day, did Jesus whistle? I'm going to ask Gene Richard. He knows everything.
Yeah, right.
I imagine he had some tunes in his head, huh? Jesus?
I'd have to think so.
Amazing Grace?
Yeah, something. You know, I couldn't watch it again, but my wife watched the Passion with Mel Gibson.
Oh, yeah,
They did.
I never did. Did you watch it?
No, I saw it once,
Uh-huh.
and it just gets to me.
Ugh.
You know, I mean, wow. I mean,
That's
what
right. You're absolutely.
you know, and I think that depiction of it is probably one of the most realistic ones there was.
Yeah, right.
Because, you know, and of course, all the Christian religions talk about always talk about how bad it actually was,
Yeah.
and what he had to go through in order to save us all. You know,
That's
and I mean,
right.
it's not a story.
That's not
You know,
a
no,
story.
this is not a legend.
And then they talk about finding DNA, finding his bones. Well, his bones wouldn't be there. He was
no,
resurrected.
he left.
You know?
That's right.
But that's amazing. The whole story of that, the last trip. You remember, Gene, back when we were young, in the last. You were born in the last century, huh?
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Almost.
Lent used to end at noon on Saturday.
That's right.
If we gave up candy, we'd be standing
right.
outside waiting for the
That's right.
candy and waiting for the fire horn to go or the church bell to ring. But,
Gave up. I remember back in those days, they pull up the dance floors and put down. You couldn't dance, but you
know.
could roller skate.
That's right.
You know, they throw down the skate things, then you roller skated during Lent, but you couldn't dance. Didn't watch TV.
Huh? Oh, I know.
Didn't
it.
watch TV.
A lot of things you couldn't
You
do.
know, fasting and
The
I
main
mean,
meal, yeah. And meat was
Things
out of the
changed.
question.
Yeah.
Just-
absolutely. Things
Times have
change.
changed.
Times change.
A
Yeah.
little bit more liberal, but it's still a beautiful holiday. That and Christmas. But Easter holiday in springtime, which makes it so beautiful.
Yeah, I think so. It's
Except
like a
this year,
rebirth. You
snow
know.
up-
Oh
people-
man.
There's snow up there. You saw that baseball game? Finally called it in the fifth inning. Should have
Unbelievable.
tried that.
Unbelievable.
Packed stadium. People packed in the stadium. Watch the stadium.
Global warming.
Global warming. But baseball and snow don't go together.
You don't believe?
You can play football, just like the Easter egg hunt. They showed all those little
That's
kids go
right.
through the snow trying to look for Easter eggs. Oh, it's a mother. Now you know why the Easter egg go, huh, Gene? And then-
That's very interesting. I want to
then-
say that too.
Yeah, I must, every
Please.
Holy Thursday, I'm gonna bring it for you to read.
I had no
Remind me.
clue. I had no clue of the correlation between. Look, a boss lady in the house earlier
Hey,
this
look
morning.
She came by.
What about you were talking about senior citizens?
Oh yeah, Thibodeau's in the run. You said it was mentioned at the council meeting.
Right,
Huh?
right.
As one of the cities for retirement, senior retirement community. There's a group of people from the state that are coming down on Tuesday, the 16th, next Tuesday, and we're going to take them on a tour of the city. I'm going to be the tour director in that streetcar. You know that streetcar that was down
Yeah,
the parade?
yeah.
Uh-huh. I think there's 7 of them or 8 of them. And we're going to take them and let them see what a marvelous place Thibodeau is for retired people, you know?
Well, it's got some of the things that I would assume, and I mean I never looked at it in detail, but some of the things I assume that retired people would want, which is a safe community,
Right.
easy access to medical facilities,
Good church.
and good churches
Right.
and stores,
Right,
surrounding stores in a close proximity.
In a close proximity.
So we kind of fit the.
Right, and Thibodeau fits the magic in that. We're going to let them do. In fact, the 7 of them that come down after they hear me, they might stay. They
Oh,
might-
absolutely.
We got new motels coming up.
You know, when you think of retirement communities, John Deere holds several functions, several of their meetings and classes every year in Sarasota, Florida.
Yeah.
And we get the opportunity to go down there and attend them. Sarasota, Florida is a retirement community.
Yeah, right.
And when you look, and I gauge that to this, man, if we could do with the retirement community what Sarasota did with theirs, what an amazing place this would be.
Those people usually have money.
Yeah.
And they're looking for warm climates and entertainment. They're not so interested in schools except for their grandchildren. Well, they're not around there. Retired people are looking for a nice warm place and a good church and a nice hospital. Now, we got one of the top hospitals in the country, and that's going to really be a growing.
Yeah,
in fact,
we got Greg Stock coming on staff, coming on the show next month. The last time I spoke with him, there were 102 doctors on staff at Thibodeau Regional, and I'm sure it's way more than that now.
Oh, yeah. I think there's 200 altogether in town.
Wow.
200 doctors. And he is amazing. But I tease him all the time about that beautiful big building on the, where all the tests are done and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I said, what a place for a grand piano. I told him, it looks like a lobby of a Hilton or something.
It does.
It's a beautiful place.
You ought to bring a piano, Gib. You could play there every
He says
day.
he's going to put one there.
Okay.
And he's going to call me for the grand opening.
All right.
And Gene Richard is going to sing the Star Spangled Banner.
Yeah, that'll be the day. I can't carry it to the number 3 tub.
I wonder if Linda heard about the Y eggs and bunnies.
Where did you find that? You must spend hours on a computer.
Oh, I love the computer. I just picked it up and put the Easter egg. I always wondered myself, about the Easter egg. You had Easter egg, Linda?
I had
Where
big
did that
Easter
come
egg
from?
This weekend.
Huh?
You had what?
A big Easter egg.
Did you?
I had a great weekend.
Oh, we all did. I think, of course, the weather was a little, it wasn't too conducive to being outdoors, but we were going to barbecue, and we ended up cooking. In fact, my wife was dead tired last night. We cooked, everybody, I think, came over yesterday. We had 3 big old roasts.
Ooh.
That's all gone. We had butter beans and rice and gravy and carrot souffle, and everybody brought a dessert, and it was freaking awesome.
You're thinking about those ravishes. You had carrot souffle, huh?
That's right.
Right, that's right. Gene, the website is Good News?
Good news?
Good News Magazine, look.
Okay, that's where you got that?
gnmagazine.org.
I'm going to have to subscribe to that because this is a good news program.
Any question you have about anything.
It's kind of like a Google. You just punch it in there
uh-huh.
and ask the question.
Mm-hmm.
That's where you get all your stuff from. See, and I thought that came out of your head.
Well, a lot of it. No, that ain't much come out of my head anymore. Were you born in the last century, Linda?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, she thinks she doesn't. I ask people that all the time, and they stop to think, I am talk about music.
I would think since I'm over a half century old.
That's right.
Oh, you
All you got to do is go.
Oh, yeah.
All you got to do is be over 7 years old.
Well, in 2003, I was emceeing a community band concert, which comes up on the 22nd Jubilee, and I said, everybody in here was born in the last century, and this little baby started crying over there. I said, Lord, I messed up. This little baby stuff.
See that? You made it feel
That's
bad.
Heard it, yeah,
That's right. You made it feel bad.
A century's a long time, Gene.
100 years.
Uh-huh.
I want to live to be 100.
36,000 days. You could do that.
I want to live to be 100.
When I went to Willie and Margaret Ogeron's 50th wedding, I figured out how many days there had been. And I put the 12 leap years in there, too. 12 leap days in 50 years, all right?
That's right.
It was
12 times 4.
26,752 days they were married.
That's a lot of days.
And that's a lot of sleep, too. You realize we sleep a third of our life?
That's why I don't like to sleep much.
Huh?
I think it's a waste. When I die, I'll have plenty of time to sleep.
I like to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. It's 5:30. You go walking, all right?
Yeah. Lately, I've been walking at work, and in this weekend, I was a little lazy. I walked at 8, 9 o'clock. But yeah, I set my clock for try to get up. With this cold weather, I've been doing it at work lately.
Yeah.
But when it warms up, I get up at 5:15 and go walk. Yeah.
Gene, talking about John Deere, I went to this fabulous bicentennial thing in Raceland. I missed your booth. I was walking around, but I didn't see the KTIB booth. Where were y'all?
We were emceeing on the stage.
Oh,
we
you
didn't have a
emceed on
booth.
the
Yeah, we
stage.
were working.
Oh,
Yeah.
I saw. Oh,
We
that's-
weren't playing. We were working.
I saw Greg up there.
Yeah. Greg was doing the music part of
Yeah, right.
the program, and we were under the tent we're right next to the food,
Well,
naturally.
I saw Charlotte Randolph. She said somebody stopped and said, "This is wonderful. You going to do it next year?" She said, "No, we were doing it 100 years from now. We're doing it again." But people are talking about how magnificent it was, and it should be done every 2 or 3 years.
I think it should.
The displays were just marvelous.
Marge Barker and Crystal
Yeah,
Chasson
Marge Barker did a
and
marvelous
Greg
job.
Dumas and
Yeah.
Charlotte and her husband George just did an awesome job putting
I
that
know.
thing together.
The two Wagon Spack sisters were there. You heard of them?
Yeah.
Yeah, 93 and 90, I think. And they have internet They want to know my website because they saw me on television.
90 years old.
But what really interested me was that huge John Deere thing that y'all brought there. And they tell me it's going to be dismantled and sent to some island. You knew that?
Yeah, that's John Deere here in Thibodeau,
Yeah.
Chemco. It
Yeah.
used to be Chemco,
Yeah,
and that's
right.
John Deere of Thibodeau,
Golly.
yeah. It's amazing what comes out of that
I
plant.
know.
You know?
Air conditioned and everything.
Oh, absolutely.
I don't think I could drive. You ever tried to drive one?
I drove one last year for about a minute when I was in La Place. You're talking about the chopper harvester,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. But Mr. St. Pierre was...
It does everything.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's amazing what those things
They
can
probably
do.
have closed circuit television up
We-
in that thing. And that,
When you consider 50 years ago they were cutting cane by hand, it's amazing.
they can cut all night now.
Yeah,
too.
they cut 24 hours a day. It's
24 hours a
amazing what
day.
they can do with
That's
that.
wonderful. And the green color. Green
Technology
color.
has come a long way in the ag industry. Thank
Oh,
goodness,
Absolutely.
because the labor's not there anymore.
And
so-
we bring those beautiful things over to foreign countries, try to teach them how to do that. And when we leave them little tractors and everything, and when we leave, they throw it on the side and go back to the hoeing. They
That's
go
right.
hoeing and hoeing. We're so far advanced in the world, it's
Well,
amazing.
they've got the manpower, you
Yeah,
know, so
that's
they can
right,
do that.
right.
We don't have the manpower
No,
to do that,
that's
so it's a
right.
big difference when, you know, when you got a crop to get out the field and you don't have the manpower to do it, you got to come up with something. And this
Yeah.
country has been very innovative, not just the sugar business, but the cotton business and the corn business and the wheat business. You
But
know,
the
same
biggest thing that y'all ever did was a riding lawnmower. We had a black man that used to work for us for 50 years in the big house, and he cut that grass by hand, pushing that thing. And by the time he finished the big yard, it was time to do it again, you know?
Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Everybody grew up with little Briggs and Strattons with
Yeah.
about a 21-inch cut at the most,
Yeah,
18,
that's-
21-inch cut.
Look at it now.
Yeah.
You don't have much yard to cut, though.
I got a good bit. I
Yeah.
cut, yeah.
I don't even.
Yeah,
I didn't notice your backyard.
Yeah, I got a pretty good sized backyard.
Mhm.
But yeah, well, I cut it with a push mower.
Yeah.
I need to exercise.
That's right. That's good for you. That's why you're gonna live forever, Gene.
I'm living to be 100. I'm living to be 100. At least I want to.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit more. You know what? I want to know, how did you get on the Martin Falls, on that program?
Somebody, she told me, the girl called me from HTV and said, some lady called up and said that you should be on here. I don't know who it is.
And he called you?
It must have been after that LPB thing that I did, you know?
Okay.
Yeah. Public broadcasting thing that I did. You saw that one?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Somebody, might have been Kathy at the chamber of it, said you should have. And so they scheduled me, and it was a lot of fun, except Martin doesn't prepare you for what he's going to ask you, you know.
Oh, there ain't no coaching?
No, I sent him a bio, not at his request. I just sent him a bio.
Uh-huh.
So he had questions about me. So he starts off and says, "Tell me how things were in the 30s." You know. Of course, I can't recall is all right. You know, when you still got a clear mind. I think I do. But he is.
How were
amazing.
things in the 30s? Yep.
Yeah. Well, quiet. I told him it was quiet, and the biggest thing was no air conditioning, and wooden sidewalks, or brick sidewalks. You know. You wasn't born yet. You were born the day we were married, I believe.
I was a war baby, 1946.
Oh, 46.
Right,
okay.
October
Oh,
11th.
God, I didn't know you were that old.
Yep.
Gene.
I'm old, dude.
Huh?
I'm old.
What month is that?
October.
October?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, tidbits.
10th
Those
month.
birthdays, you know. Those birthdays.
Not a lot of birthdays in April.
I know. I noticed that.
You notice that? I don't get the calls.
Well, you know when the most birthdays are in September. You know why?
After the winter.
No,
After the cold winter.
Christmas and cold winter, conception, right? Well, more birthdays in September. Another tidbit.
That's another thing against Al Gore's global warming.
except our blessed Lord was supposedly conceived on Immaculate Conception on March the 25th. You know, exactly 9 months before
That's
Christmas.
right. I wonder how that came about.
Calendars are amazing. Dates are amazing. April 1st is so much fun. I didn't hear too many April Fool jokes this year. It's because it was on a Sunday, huh?
You know, back in, I don't think you see April Fool's joke like you used to. Man, I remember when
No.
I was a kid,
Oh,
you got
practical joke.
prepared for
Oh.
April 1st.
I mean, some people did terrible things.
Yeah.
They called that your husband was
Yeah.
in an accident and all that. April Fool, you know, you can't do that. It's amazing.
Unbelievable. But I remember when I was a kid, you always had 2 or 3 things up your sleeve,
That's
for
right, you're
April
right.
Fool, and then now it just kind of comes and we're too busy. We're too busy today. It just
Too
kind of
busy.
comes and goes, you know.
And the schools, the extracurricular activities at school was amazing. You know, Friday afternoon, Tim brought the band. What's the band director's name at E.D. White? Tim
Robichaux, huh? Yeah, Robichaux.
He brought that percussion, that magnificent percussion group to perform for the walking Christians.
Mhm.
They walked 9 churches.
Yes.
And on the parking lot in the back, at about 12:30, they put on that show for them. It's a very religious theme, you know. Kiki Day, it's just amazing what he does for them.
Absolutely. You know, we were talking about we don't do like we used to. I should have brought it. I printed something out yesterday. I think Adrian took it home with her. But they were talking, you know, you've been hearing a lot of the news lately about the children being couch potatoes and being obese and having health problems at an early age. Well, stop and think about it. When we were kids, there were no Nintendo games. There were no cell phones. There were sometimes in some homes no TV. There was no PlayStation 3. There was no, you know, nothing that you had to sit down and watch.
Oh,
you know?
Television has changed the world.
You know what you did? You went out and you played.
Played tag and everything.
That's right.
Outside.
You played outside
Not
every day.
Because there was nothing inside, but it was too hot inside.
That's right.
You go outside.
Plus, what your mom and daddy told you? Go outside and play, boy.
That's right.
Go do something.
I'll call you for supper.
That's right.
Come in from school and go outside and play.
Think about this. When you left, and this is unheard of today with the age of communication and cell phones, when you left for school in the morning, chances are you didn't talk to your mom or dad till 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
That's right, absolutely.
No form of communication at all. And we did okay.
And all discipline was done at the school. My daddy would say, don't call me. Yeah.
Twice.
Don't call me. If the principal called you then, boy.
Used to get them 2 whippings. You got one at school, and then they call the parents and see what happened, and then you got another one.
I never got a whipping. I bet you Gene Richard didn't get a whipping.
I got quite a few in my lifetime. I got to go back to St. Charles Elementary, and, well, I don't even want to go there.
Is it Richard or Richard?
Richard.
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 Yeah, somebody's on, or who was it over the weekend said, Richard? Richard. It's a little different than Richard.
Richard.
It's Richard.
South I-10.
Like R-E-E.
Yeah, Richard. South I-10. North I-10 is Richard.
Talking about tourism. Remember I told you we were going to get the tourism lady up here one day?
Yeah.
I'm on the tourist commission, and last year, after you put me on there, I wrote this little thing up. Since Katrina and Rita, there has been a drop in tourist visitors. For the first 5 months before Rita, there were 3,753 tourists stopped at the center, 141 from other countries. This is compared to the first 5 months of 2005, 5,657 international people. It shows you how many people pass on I-10, which is going to be 49, I-10, and they stop over
90,
there and they say, is New Orleans still underwater? They still believe.
You got to be kidding.
They show those pictures on television. Why do they keep bringing that back? Show those pictures, and people see that, happen to turn on, and they see, wow, I'm not going to New Orleans. It's amazing they come back, though, thanks to the saints.
Yeah,
but really have done wonders.
You know, you're right in a way, Gib, but you know the sad part, apart from Canal Street and apart from the Garden District and apart from the business district, New Orleans is far from being back.
Oh, gosh, if we only knew. The
New Orleans East and Ninth Ward is, in fact, the Ninth Ward, I was there last week, the Ninth Ward is just about like it was, except they cleaned up the debris, but just about like it was the day after Katrina.
They still got thousands of
tons. Oh, it's unbelievable. Yeah, they'll be there for another 3 to 5 years.
What about the 300,000 homes were destroyed?
Yeah.
When you start, just think of it, all floating homes. All 300,000.
Think about, that's right. They'd be living today. They'd have a place to live in today.
They don't say what would happen when the water comes up and it brings, it's going that way. So all those homes on floating would be up in some section.
That's right. Well, I'm sure they'd be anchored down.
Destroyed, though.
Yeah, they'd be anchored down, though.
Oh, anchored down.
It would just float up and down. You know, like you put a trailer sometimes up on pilings.
Yeah, right.
You could probably do that. You could put pilings and then let it float up and down, on that piling.
Like those things we see on the way right now. Yeah. Those, they let them up and down on those posts.
And then now there's some talk about exactly what the population of New Orleans really is.
Yeah, it's hard to tell. But they lost 200,000, 300,000.
I'd say, and a lot of it, you know, a lot of people have resettled, relocated.
And some of the bad element came back. That's why they're having so much trouble now.
Crime is unbelievable right now. But, you know, the sad part, I think the whole South Louisiana, Mississippi area will be changed forever. Because when you look at Waveland and not just New Orleans.
No more Long Beach.
You look at Slidell, you look at Waveland, you look at Bay St. Louis, you look at Biloxi.
Down there.
All those homes, all those old homes are gone.
Remember the beautiful Long Beach Drive with the trees and those homes gone?
Gone.
And they say that's what the problem about swimming in the water. The way they came up and they pulled all that stuff out into the water. Until the Coast Guard can clear all that water, you can't go swimming out there. They have refrigerators and everything out there.
Yeah, it'll be years. But just
decades.
Oh yeah, I mean, like I said, the whole landscape. That's the word I was looking for.
Yeah.
The whole landscape of Southeast Louisiana, Mississippi,
Absolutely.
is changed forever as we know it. And people say, "Oh, it'll come back." Yeah, it'll come back, but it'll never be the same.
But
It can't because the buildings are not there.
The Gulf Coast, without the casinos, they would be lost. But most of them have come back.
Yeah, we're smart enough to get that rolling first.
Right, it's a boom town now because of that, but that's all there is.
Yeah. But it's better than nothing. At least there's some economy for them to build on.
That's right.
To
people
come
come
back.
from all over the country to gamble.
Absolutely.
They have their own restaurants and hotels. It's amazing.
Tourism.
Tourism.
We'll come back in just a minute and talk about Lafourche Parish tourism. Listeners, pour yourself another cup of coffee. We'll be right back here at Oldie 640 KTIB.
KTIB-AM 640, News Talk Oldies, and the new home of Rush Limbaugh.
You don't have the right to protest. You're allowed no demonstrations, no foreign flag waving.
AM 640, KTIB.
Join Gene Richard mornings for Dialogue on Oldie 640 KTIB, brought to you by the Thibodaux Volunteer Fire Department's Fireman's Fair. Start making plans now for the first weekend in May. It's the Thibodaux Volunteer Fireman's Fair, and it promises to have something for everyone in the family. Tons of great food, rides for the kids, the big Fireman's Parade on Sunday, the $10,000 raffle, an auction, and best of all, great entertainment. This year, you'll want to bring your lawn chairs and get to the fairgrounds early to enjoy such entertainment as the Chiwis, Little Al, Fats Jackson, Tony Hall and Mahogany Blue, Waylon Thibodaux, the Treater Band, Louisiana LaRue featuring Tab Benoit, just to name a few. And Saturday night, all the way from Australia, the Little River Band. And now for the Thibodaux Fireman's Fair, the first weekend of May on the fairgrounds, Tiger Drive in Thibodaux.
The 2007 Terrebonne Orchid Society's annual spring show will be held April 13th, 14th, and 15th at Southland Mall in Houma. Hours are from 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. on Friday and Saturday, and from 12 noon to 6 on Sunday. This event is free to the general public. The show will present gorgeous displays of orchids by societies across Louisiana and other states, with several vendors on hand offering beautiful blooming plants for sale. Some of the vendors will also have all the necessary products needed for potting and growing. And you'll find knowledgeable people on location to answer any question and offer information needed to grow orchids successfully. You'll see some of the most interesting, unusual, and unique settings, all created with orchids. Come out and enjoy the beautiful, the odd, fragrant, and varied world of orchids. That's the Terrebonne Orchid Society's spring show, April 13th through 15th at Southland Mall.
When you sign up for Comcast Digital Voice Home Phone Service, things are really going to change. Like, you know that phone call, the one you make when you're not sick, but you're pretending to be sick because today is one of those Thursdays that feels more like a Friday, so you call your boss and you're all, cough, cough, I think I should stay home today. And he's like, oh, what exactly do you have? And you're like, it's kind of a light cough, and you're a pretty bad liar, but he can't prove otherwise, so he's like, okay. And then you say something that's a little trying too hard, like, I should make myself some tea. And then he nose breathes into the phone a few times and says, well, feel better. And for a second, you feel a teeny bit guilty, and then you hang up and get back into bed and think, I wonder what's on daytime TV today. You know that phone call? Well, actually, that phone call won't change. But with Comcast Digital Voice, it will cost less. Reliable service at a far lower price. Comcast Digital Voice. It's Comcastic.
Get Comcast Digital Voice with unlimited local and long distance for just $33 per month for 6 months. Talk big, save big. Comcast Digital Voice. It's Comcastic. Call 876-4280 and start saving today. Promotional offer good for 6 months. After promotional period, regular rates apply. Other restrictions apply.
KTIB-AM 640. The rebirth of KTIB-AM 640. Glad to be home, Thibodaux, Houma, Morgan City. We are your station for news, talk, and oldies. AM 640. KTIB-AM.
And welcome back, listeners. We got somebody paying the bills now. We got a clear signal. We're back on track. We got sponsors, and it's going to get better every day from this point on. Terrebonne Orchid Society, don't forget, as you just heard, the spring show this coming weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, at Southland Mall in Houma. Is that right? And, of course, don't forget the Red Cross Gala. If you need tickets, that's going to be fun. It's 10:30 to about 12:30, 1 o'clock at the Nichols Ballroom. The number to call for tickets is called Julie, and I had the doggone number. I don't know what I did, but I'll get it for you. Anyway, call here, the business line at 447-6405, and we'll get you the Red Cross number. Number into the dialogue, 447-6409. What?
American Red Cross Gala.
Gala.
If you noticed in their spot, it says a lively live auction.
Oh, yeah, we're going to have a
A
good time.
lively live auction?
Uh-huh. You know who's doing that auction?
Huh? Oh,
Yes,
gee,
Yeah, we're going to have a good
Yeah.
that's a,
Might be
let me tell you,
lively.
that is a good time.
Don't you
That-
love the auction?
Oh, yeah, I do. I mean, that's a lot of
We've
fun.
You practice that?
No.
Da, 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 da.
No.
Turn
We
that
have
down here.
KTIB
never been to
buses
school.
everywhere.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's just a lot of fun, and you know, it's for a good cause, and that's the main thing.
Gene,
You know, that's what it's all
I want to
about.
ask, what's her name at the Red Cross?
Julie
Sweet
Barrio?
Sweet Julie, she's wonderful. I want to ask her if I can bring the picture of that woman. I showed you that portrait. It's a mural about this big of a beautiful blonde girl, and it's signed Rex 1982.
Ooh.
L.J. Melanson found it on the trash dump at Colvin's. I mean, it's a beautiful painting. There was this woman. Somebody put it on a trash dump.
A
Somebody
blonde?
got mad at it. It's 25 years ago now.
A blonde?
Huh? A blonde.
Wasn't
beautiful.
Anna Nicole?
Huh? No, it wasn't Anna Nicole.
Wasn't Marilyn Monroe? Huh?
No, it wasn't. It's more beautiful than that. And so I sent it to the some people in New Orleans to try to get. It must have something to do with the crew of Rex. But we're going to have that publicly displayed. Somebody must know who that is. And we left it at the coffee table a couple of times and left it at the chamber office, but nobody knows who that is.
Ain't nobody claiming. That's the problem.
That's right. But she must be about your age.
Yeah, right. Do you think so?
Maybe you know who that is.
No.
I'm going to bring it up here. Of course, y'all don't have television, but
No,
you can
just a
describe
radio station, man. We don't need TV. This is live radio.
Live radio, huh? That's one thing we talk about the olden days. Boy, the radio was
That's all
a
we
wonderful
had.
thing.
The Dawn
The
Busters.
Dawn Buster, remember?
Yep, I remember that.
You know, what was his name? Henry Dupre?
Mhm.
Henry Dupre married his son married one of Dub Gibbons' daughters. Henry Dupre.
Really?
Pinky Vodakovich, remember that?
Oh,
Pinky
yeah.
Vodakovich.
That's before my time.
And at
yeah.
8:30 on Sunday night, we used to listen to Fred Allen. Fred Allen. But of course, at 8:30, we'd go to bed. Everybody go to bed before 9 o'clock.
That's
you know,
right.
You never stayed up. And you got 8 to 9 hours of sleep all the time. They'd have to wake us up in the morning for school at 7, after 10 hours of sleep. That's the way it's supposed to be. Why do you think the Lord made it dark at night?
Why?
You're supposed to go to bed.
Yeah, but it's 7:30, 8 o'clock. Too much to do.
Then we were stealing daylight from him. You know, I don't like daylight saving time. You like that?
I love it.
Yeah, yeah.
I love it because I work and it gives me a chance
When you get
to do
home,
something.
that's right. It's good, I guess.
I got something, you know. I
But you know,
still have time.
They say it saves electricity. But now when you get up in the morning, you got to turn the lights on, you know,
Yeah.
ahead of time that you wouldn't usually do so. But I guess it's nice. Benjamin Franklin thought that out.
That's right. Back in the 1800s, you're right.
But if they start pushing it back 2 or 3 hours at a time, then we really got problems.
Well, I think we ought to have it all your long. I think it ought to be daylight
I
savings
think they
times
will.
all year long.
I think they'll do it.
You know,
Yeah, they should
because
come to that.
at least even in the shortest days,
Right.
when people get home at 5:30, it's still daylight.
Yeah, right.
Right.
I mean, I don't care if it's dark in the morning when I go to work.
Especially
when you walk out of here at 5:30 in the evening
It's
in
dark.
the winter times and it's dark, you have no time to do anything.
Plus, you feel bad. You know,
You
it's
do.
like, you know,
You
your
wanna go
day's
home and
over. That's
hibernate.
right. Yeah. You know,
Lenny, you got to get Gene Richard to go mow your yard. He pushes
Mow
a
my
lawnmower.
yard?
Yeah.
no, let me tell
He
you.
does mow my 39 acres.
39 acres. My goodness, Gene doesn't want. He could bring a big John Deere out there. He could.
He'd
go
Yeah.
get
Yeah,
him
that's what
on.
it takes. Yeah, it's a big old transmitter site. We got some more
That's
work to
right.
do out there. Listeners, if you noticed, and I think I can say this now with
Yes, you can.
with some confidence, we got a good, clear signal. It'll remain a good, clear signal. Linda and the engineers were in here last week doing a bunch of work, installing some new equipment. There's still some more equipment to be installed, but I think for the most part, we're on the right track. Business owners in the city, I'm going to tell you now, turn this back on.
Oh, yes.
I think we're okay now.
Yes.
That's the
In
Linda
fact, I
one.
know we're okay now.
it's
All
wonderful.
that crackling has stopped, and you've got this good, clear 640 signal that it used to be. Go ahead and put us on in your
Isn't it
businesses, and I think and I think you'll really see some good programming and some improvement. Hold
fabulous.
on for a minute. Good morning, you're live, KTIB.
Good morning, Gene. This is Fred Mars in Chagbeck.
Good morning, Fred.
Fred Mott.
Man, y'all bending the cypress trees over here.
Yeah, you're right.
Well, y'all got a good, strong signal. No more popping, no more crackling. Man, y'all keeping up with that big boy over there in New Orleans.
Yeah, we're trying, and like I said, Linda and the engineers were in, even this weekend, but the end of last week, and got a lot of the problems squared away here, got a lot of the problems squared away at the transmitter site, and from this point forward, it's going to get better, Fred.
It's better.
Man, you have your sound, your modulation is clear
Yeah.
on your audio, on your sound, on your tunes and your music. It's enjoyable.
Yeah,
You
it's
like
good.
my music?
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, it's even going to be better, bud.
Well, good. Thanks, Gene. Y'all keep it up. Y'all doing a great job.
We're going to do
Fred.
it. Thank you.
Thank you, Fred.
All right, Fred.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
He's right. It's funny how
Yeah, Fred's-
people are calling for.
Well, let me tell you, Fred's kind of our years in Jack Bay.
Yeah.
In the Jack Bay Cream area, yeah. And a good, a good quality station and a good quality signal is important.
You talk about make me happy.
Oh,
I
yeah.
bet
my
it did. I'm sure
goodness.
you got a lot of.
I went up to St. Gabriel this weekend, took a trip, and listened pretty much all the way up and back, and it was great. I mean, I didn't turn it off, so it was
Yeah,
good.
yeah. That what we had before was just aggravating. But the theory was, listeners, and we're not making excuses, but Linda thought, when we first came back a couple of months ago, that it was just important to get up and running.
Exactly.
And she put it back on the air, and we got it up and running, and then kind of worked out the details later,
Took a
and
little while.
went through some hills and valleys and some rough times there. But I think from this point forward, we'll be just fine. It'll get better and better and better. You got some more stuff coming in, huh?
Boy, do I ever. We've got I had a nice conversation with George
Our
this
boss?
weekend.
Yeah.
Yes. My boss.
Yeah.
I'm your boss.
That's right.
But there's some exciting things getting ready to happen.
Good.
And I guess everybody heard George Thursday bought 52 new radio stations. So
Yeah.
we went from small market to major conglomerate.
Mm-hmm.
Gap Broadcasting now owns a total of, I think it's 61 radio stations across the United States.
I met him when he was up here helping you.
Any process.
Oh, yeah.
He corrected me Saturday.
Uh-huh.
I made a comment that he was about 40 years old, He says, not hardly. So he's in his 30s.
61 stations.
That's a lot of radio
and he
stations.
owns them by himself. This is not a group. It's like, George, he was teasing me. He said, I might have a lot of gray hair, but I haven't hit 40 yet. I said, owning that many stations, your hair should be white.
That's right. Anyway, he did a good job at this station. He
Sure
stepped
did.
up to the plate, bit the bullet,
Now we got it.
paid the price for it, and put the money in it.
You know what's
Um,
amazing? I used to, forgive me for saying this, but I used to have to fight to get things done here. I just say do it now.
Yeah.
And it gets done, and he pays the bills.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And we're good. That's why I'm asking the businesses. Now we need you. Now
Yeah, right.
now we're a player in the
This would be a
community,
big
and
week.
now it needs to be supported. Now it needs to be sponsored. Now it needs to be a viable player. That we're here to stay. We're here for forever, I hope. We're going to be here for many, many years to come. But in order for that to happen, the business community is going to have to step up to the plate and support this station. There's got to be some advertising that's got to go on.
That's right,
we
sure.
got to pay some bills.
Absolutely.
And that's the name of the game.
And one of the things I want to make sure that everybody understands is that KTIB, through thick and thin, hurricanes, whatever, we'll be here.
We'll be
for
here. You bet.
When I signed my contract, I signed to be here.
Gene, and now that people know why Easter bunnies and eggs at Easter time, why bunnies and eggs, they're going to be calling in more.
Gib. That was the phone will ring off the wall starting tomorrow. But we're laughing about that, but I had no doggone clue, and whether people out there want to admit it or not, they didn't have a clue.
No,
either.
nobody had
I
a
didn't.
clue.
Yeah.
I didn't. I had no
What
clue.
is it? Yeah, right. It's the resurrection of Christ. But what is the bunnies and eggs,
Where does that
But the
come
egg, when you stop and think of the
That's
egg
right.
cracking
I
open.
would like
Rebirth.
to send
I
him
did.
an email.
And the tomb opening up
That's
is
right.
very symbolic.
Listeners, it's 8 o'clock. We
Yeah,
got to
yeah.
run. Gibbons, thanks for being
Always
with
a
us this
pleasure.
morning.
Thank
Linda,
you.
thanks for coming on. We really, really appreciate
you're
it.
welcome.
Listeners, thank you for listening, because you know what? Without you, we don't have a program. Don't forget, Rock and Randall 2 to 4, and Al Carter live from 4 to 5 o'clock here at
Oh, and one other thing.
the...
Rush will be back today. His satellite receiver is now working.
Good. So he'll be back on. So things are just rolling along right now for KTIB. Businesses, again, we ask that you tune us in. Listeners, if there's any subject you'd like to hear about, anyone you'd like to hear from, give us a call here at Oldie 640 KTIB. We'll be happy to put that subject or those people on the air. Lineup for the week. Let's see. Tomorrow we got Cam Movon. Wednesday we got two. We got the Garden Club and the Terrebonne Orchid Society. Thursday we got Charlotte Randolph, and we might have, I don't know what I'm going to do Friday. We might start having open line Friday like we
That's
used to.
always
I don't
fun.
know yet. Yeah, we'll wait and see how the week goes. If somebody needs to get on, we'll put them on. But that's the lineup for the week, so stay tuned. Don't forget about Al Carter Lives. Thanks for allowing us into your homes and hearts this morning. We really, really appreciate it. God bless you today. God bless you every day. Have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow here at the new Oldie 640 KTIB.